Hello loyal fans and subscribers, Ninamori Fanboy here with my Season 3 Week 3 PBF battle against Blue Victini, aka coach of the Montreal Monfernos. If you saw my team building video, you'll know that team I have here is the team I mentioned I would bring. And he brought a team that I pretty much expected. He didn't bring Clefable nor Latios, instead bringing... I pretty much expected everything else. The only thing I didn't really expect was the Seismitoad, which, as you'll see, he ended up leading with. And that's going to possibly come back to bite me. But looking at his team, I felt I didn't know what to lead with. I just went with my gut with Terrakion to maybe either bluff, a lead Stealth Rocker, or expecting him to want to lead with Absol to maybe get his Mega Evolution off as soon as possible. Terrakion could, of course, outspeed. And like I mentioned, I am banded, so I want to get off as many free banded attacks as I can get. So I'm going to end up leading with my Terrakion, as you'll see, and he will lead with that Seismitoad, which is the only member I wasn't really prepared for. I'm surprised he didn't bring Clefable nor Latios, but at the same time, this Seismitoad can be a problem if I don't play correctly. And since he led with it, I felt he might go for Stealth Rock, and I could potentially get off a huge hit on him. But it wasn't worth the risk, and I'm glad I switched out because he did end up just going for Scald, and my Empoleon can take that pretty easily. And this switch right here made me think he was choiced in some way, like right off the bat, like probably choice Scarfed considering how little that did, because why else would he switch out? He adds Stab, but maybe he thought I had... No, because I got leftovers. I really don't know, because as you'll see later, he's actually leftovers. But either way, Tangrowth is in against my Empoleon. I'm just going to fish for burns, and I get one right away as he knocks off my leftovers. Not too bad. Like, I don't need my Empoleon as much as I initially expected I would need it, because he doesn't have Clefable. But I am going to fire off a Signal Beam on this Tangrowth, and it's a 2-hit KO, especially after the burn. Just dropped my Stylus. Now here, I'm going to double right back into, I think, my Terrakion, because I'm pretty sure he's going to switch out right here. Oh no, my Sceptile expecting the Seismitoad, that's right. And he does withdraw the Tangrowth, goes right back out to that Seismitoad, so I felt this was a pretty good situation. I can get off an essentially free Giga Drain right here. And like I said, it is revealed to be leftovers, so I was pretty confused. Like, I didn't understand why he switched out earlier, but I wasn't complaining. Like I mentioned, I'm just going to get off my Mega Evolution here and get off a free Giga Drain. I felt if he went into Heatran and he was on a balloon, I would break the balloon and then, be able to hit him with an Earthquake after this. And I do go for Giga Drain. He's not on an air balloon, and he doesn't have leftovers. Now, I went for Earthquake, and I half expected Shuka, but I still went for Earthquake, and I get a critical hit, which it mattered because I did way more damage, but it didn't KO. Now, this, though, mattered significantly. He uses Fire Blast and gets a crit and KOs me. Now, that mattered so much to me. I don't know how much my Earthquake crit mattered to him, like how much that changed his playstyle, but this changed like my entire perspective because, okay, first of all, that Ice Beam couldn't even take it out from where it was. I felt it would, which allowed him to do like half to me with an attack, which is just ridiculous because I calced and Ice Beam should have taken it out from where it was. I think it should have done like 7%, and he looked like if he was at like about 1 or 2%, but he still lived, and that's going to allow him to easily be able to, take me to half. Then he'll go into this Mega Absol and go for Sucker Punch and take me out regardless of my Colbur Berry. But getting back to the crit earlier, I didn't go for Scald against the Heatran because as soon as my Mega Sceptile died, his Seismitoad became so much more problematic because I didn't really have anything for it, because I wasn't prepping for it as much. I still had things for it, but once my Skeptile went down, that kind of changed my whole perspective. That critical hit, that's why I'm saying it really mattered, and I'm way behind in turns. He has a Reuniclus in, and I have a Carbink in. I didn't know if he had Iron Tail and would try to fire it off against my Carbink. That's why I just went for Moonblast. Luckily, he didn't have it. Unluckily, though, I missed my Toxic, and if you saw my team building video, you know why I have Toxic. It's because I also have Skill Swap. But because I missed my first Toxic, I'm going to have to waste another turn, which will allow him to set up 2 free Calm Minds as I get off this Toxic. And, he's probably wondering at this point why I'm even bothering Toxicing him, because he obviously didn't take rock damage. But like I mentioned, and you should know, I have Skill Swap, but it's pretty unfortunate that I missed that Toxic just because... now he got another free Calm Mind, and he took less overall toxic damage. Not actually over... wow. Forget what I said about the less toxic damage. He takes the same amount of damage, but he's at, way higher. So he's able to do significantly more. Still not a 2-hit KO, but now, as you'll see, he will feel threatened out enough to the point where he switches out his +2/+2 Reuniclus, which is... a thumbs up for me. Looks like I also switch out. So, I go out to my Empoleon. I'm not sure who he goes out to. I can't remember. It might be that Empoleon. Not Empoleon. Seismitoad, like I mentioned, because, Seismitoad is such a problem now, which I've been trying to, get across. Because that's why I'm mentioning it, because my whole groove has been thrown off by that one crit. It really changed a lot. Now here, I could have and should have went for Scald, but because I didn't expect him to stay in, I guess. But he did switch out to this Staraptor, and he's going to be able to lock himself. I'm presuming he's Choice Scarfed, because I don't think anyone else on his team is. He might be Banded or something. No other item is revealed during this, like no Life Orb, no Leftovers. He might be like Sharp Beak or something. But he is able to take out my Empoleon with that. I should have made the play I wanted to, but I didn't need Empoleon. That's why I definitely should have made it, but I didn't, and it's going to cost me. Now here I'm just going to attack the Staraptor, because I didn't think he would switch out, because he already came in once on Rocks, and if he wants to come in on Rocks again and use Brave Bird, he'll be taking even more damage. But, he did. Switched out to this Seismitoad, which, as I mentioned, is a severe problem. And he actually gets up late game Stealth Rocks, which also caught me way off guard. And I'm going to Toxic this thing, just because, like I said, I needed, to whittle this thing severely, which is why I didn't go for Scald earlier, just because I needed every bit of chip damage on this thing as I could get. He goes for Scald there as I go for Toxic. I think he went for Scald. I wasn't really watching what it said. Yeah, he did go for something right there, and I did get off my Toxic. Fortunately, I hit this time. I think he's going to be able to take me out. Okay, it was Scald. He goes for Scald again, and that does take out my Carbink. Now here, I can go into my Terrakion, who's still at full health, and will be basically in the same situation we were at in turn 1, where, except, he'll not be at full health, and he'll be Toxic. And I'm not going to go for close combat, because I still can't OHKO it, and, if I'll be... at -1 defenses. So he goes for Earthquake, opting for that instead of Scald, which I'm grateful for, because despite it doing a lot of damage, it has no chance to burn me and just completely destroy any chance I have. So I went for X-Scissor in case he tried to switch in Tangrowth or Reuniclus. Like I mentioned though, close combat is better against Tangrowth somehow, but I still went for close combat in case, or X-Scissor in case he switched in, what's his name? what is his name? Reuniclus. But he did not. He's saving that because it is a solid win condition. Right here he goes back out to Staraptor and can close combat, confirming that he is indeed Scarfed. And I actually forgot that earlier because I said I wasn't sure what he was, but it's actually revealed right there he was Scarfed. I figured he was, but I wasn't sure. Now here I just go for Brave Bird to take this thing out. I was quite confident he would stay in this time, and he does. So at this point he's got, I think, 3 pokes left, and I'm at like 30 something health left. That pops my Apricot Berry, so I can't use my Natural Gift Ground, so that failed me. But in good news, it did raise my special defense. So I'm going to Roost here and try to tank this Reuniclus's hits. So he goes for Psychic. And remember that +1 special defense boost? Yeah, glad that helped at all. Right back to where I was. So Roost again. This is an uphill battle. He's going to crit me eventually if I don't go on the offensive first. And now he sets up a Calm Mind. My only hope here is to crit him right here and right now with Overheat. Because if I go for Brave Bird, I'll put myself in range of being taken out with a Psychic. So I definitely can't do that. I just have to hope for a crit right here. Doesn't happen. So I lower my special attack. He goes for Psychic. And at +1, it might not have KO'd me, but it doesn't matter because he got a crit. Instead of me getting a crit, he got the crit. So pretty unfortunate end game there. I think I played this game to the best of my ability. Just getting crit with Mega Sceptile getting crit with a Fire Blast really put me in the back, I feel. Maybe critting his Heatran put him in a position where he had to make certain plays, but I think the crit on my Mega Sceptile was very significant. I mean, not to say anything, I'm glad that I still played this to the best of my ability, and I'm, proud that I got as far as I did, despite that. So, overall a good game, definitely fun. Like I mentioned, I'm pretty proud that I did as good as I could do. Like I mentioned, his team, I felt I could do well against his team, and I think I played it well. I think I'll keep saying that, over and over again, but overall I still did lose, which means I have lost all 3 weeks so far, which means that I don't think there's any remote possibility of me making playoffs. So that is unfortunate, but I'm still going to try my best, and I'll have no regrets. So, thank you for watching this video, and look forward to upcoming wow, I'm out of it. If you're still watching this video, thank you. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.